All right, let's go. Ayo, we're three hot guys sharing our opinions because we're special and different. Gold medals, we're winning. Can't help it if we're burdened by our intellect. You can play checkers while we pretend we know the rules to chess. The council has spoken, and we are the chosen. Your nose is broken because I broke it.
And welcome back to another episode of Will of the Cones. It's your boy Joseph. I've got Jordan in the booth.
Yeah, I'm here. Whew, I made it. It's a close call, but I'm in the booth.
I've got Danny in the metaverse.
They call me Disney's Luigi. I'll sell you a house. Call me Ouija.
That, you know what, actually, that's an incredible line.
Thank you.
That I am sure Becky, who is on the ones and twos, will probably have to edit around. How is everybody doing today?
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm pretty good.
Normally, I'm nice and sitting and comfy and ready to go, but today I was running behind. You know, adult life as a 30-year-old sometimes gets in the way a little bit. So
That's true. I have to ask, have you considered maybe expediting a lot of your day-to-day by outsourcing things like the vetting process and hiring interviews to an artificial intelligence?
Yeah,
Wow,
Jordan.
that sounds so interesting. Tell me more.
Jordan, I think on the way here to record the podcast, I think if you had an AI chat GPT vetting the lights, the things that were coming through, you'd be able to get here faster.
That sounds great,
Danny, why don't
I'm
you-
going to jump off a
Why
bridge.
don't you explain the newest in blockchain technology to our listeners?
Sure. So some guy online, his name's I guess Ali Ansari, posted.
And he's got two of these fucking badges. He's got the blue check, the mark of the beast, and he's got a second little thing going on. What is this?
Oh, let's find out what
Micro One. It's a
What
little
is this?
badge.
Oh,
If you ever see anything in terms of like, it's like the North Korean dictators with like the chest full of badges. If you see anything at all after a person's name, it is a big stop sign. It says do not interact. But if you see two, you will get radioactive illnesses if you come too close to their posts.
yeah. They found out on Twitter that you could mark people because they would start marking themselves. So you're like, oh, look, globe emoji. Be careful. This guy's, got the globe emoji. Now Twitter has a feature for it.
Yeah, they might as well be stink lines as far as I'm concerned.
I can smell them from here, man. So,
All right, walk me through it.
okay. Ali Ansari, this guy's AI dev-ish recruitment engineer for Micro One. Excited to introduce, they posted this on twitter.com, X formerly Twitter. Excited to introduce the world's first AI interviewer, GPT vetting. With GPT vetting, you can interview 100 times more candidates in less time, and candidates get a more enjoyable, gamified, and less biased interview experience. You define the skills you want the interview to focus on. GPT vetting asks verbal questions and then jumps into a coding exercise. You then review the report that includes an AI assessment of each tech stack and a trust score. In its beta, GPT vetting has already conducted 13,000 AI interviews, saving approximately 10,000 hours of software engineers who would otherwise be conducting technical interviews. And there's a video posted on the tweet, and the first thing you see is an AI generated art animated video of this guy with a brown hair, glasses, white guy who has a Micro One shirt that says the words, "Hi, I am GPT vetting," in the most robotic voice you can think of. And then it cuts to Ali being like, "Hey, what's up? We made this and thank you."
We gotta stop people
Yeah.
from graduating with
yeah.
degrees. We have to
We gotta
stop people
stop.
from graduating with degrees in engineering until we can figure out what's going on.
You are
like, this is
absolutely correct.
the tech interview is already just an insane thing.
Yes.
Like an unbelievable thing that I cannot believe has proliferated. But now they're like, oh yeah, instead of the tech interview where we give you a whiteboard and you resolve a coding exercise, we're just gonna send you homework with like an animated character that'll go boodink when you get it wrong and when you don't. Also, this is fucked up. What was the whole point of doing patriarchy if the interview is going to be less biased, right? Like, what the fuck? Well, I was a little scared because, you know, as someone who benefits largely from the interview process, I was like, oh God, what's going to happen? And then I saw they made him a white guy, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, even the AI interviewer is still a white guy. Like,
you think
we
like
just can't stop winning.
the AI interview sees like a black woman apply, and he goes, hello. Oh. just like freezes
down. To give more visuals for the listeners at home, the picture of the guy they generated for the GPT vetting is like one of those Pixar AI arts. So they look like, you know, Pixar's terrible.
He looks like a twink.
Like twink. Yeah. He looks awful.
Cannot describe a person in any other way, I guess.
He looks like a boy version of Tracer with glasses. Like,
no, I'm sorry. This is a twink. This is a
All right,
twink.
fine,
I'm sorry.
I know, Joseph, but like,
This is like what soft boy engineers think they look like. They're like, ooh, woo, you know, I'm just coding in my little cave. But like, the problem is, in order to get an adequate sense of like how this interview process would really go, you need some guy who is not washed in like a month. You're gonna smell him during the interview process. He's gonna say something like completely out of pocket. He'd be like, wow, you're really good for a queer. Like, he'd say something crazy like that. Like, this doesn't do it for me. Like, this guy has like kempt eyebrows. I ain't never seen this guy anywhere in any engineering anything.
It's like, oh man. First of all, I want to preface what I'm about to say by I feel in no way positive towards this shit at all. I think AI technology is like the devil. Basically.
I hope this guy gets
so
killed.
Bad.
Like, I hope that like they conscript him into Overwatch and he gets shot in the head by Doomfist. That's what I hope.
Yeah.
you just hear his ulti.
Meteor strike.
I do understand, like, there is something to be solved about the interview process, right?
Yeah,
because,
of course.
Like, you know, having been in corporate America for many years now, after getting out of college, like, pretty much the way you get jobs is by knowing somebody. Like, you have to pretty much, if you have any sort of relevant experience in the field, a degree, and you have been referred by somebody that works there, or you know somebody that works in the department or in the company or something like that, that can give you even a little bit of a vouch, and you just like have any sort of people skill in general to be able to pass like any interview, like, yeah, that's how you get a job, right?
Yep.
You know, and that does suck because, like, but how are you interview all these people that apply? Because I don't know, having been in the sort of the HR recruiting world, you see there are like hundreds upon hundreds of people that apply to one job, right?
Yeah.
So I understand that there is something to be solved when it comes to the concept of interviewing as a whole, but AI, it's just not it. Like, AI can't do what an interview is for, right? Like,
what if I like do my homework? Like, you know, I'm trying to get like, you know, I figure out who the interviewer is beforehand, and I'm trying to like get an in where, like, if you have a LinkedIn, you can go to their profile and be like, oh, I see you like, you know, hiking in your spare time. Me too. But like, they're AIs, so they're not real. So I'm gonna be like, oh, I saw you had, you know, 34,000 entries on rule34.paheel.net. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Like, and this makes the interview process infinitely worse, right? Like,
oh, of
yeah.
course.
And I'm kind of going through, this is like a 2-minute and 45-second video, and I didn't want to like crawl through all of it, but I did want to see kind of like the process. And so not only can you pick the Pixar twink, but you can actually pick different types of AI interviewers. So if you actually want like they showcase in the video a black woman or a kind of like mixed white woman, I guess I'll just call her a white woman.
Are you talking about Kristen?
Yeah.
They have an AI interviewer called Kristen, who I can only describe as like one of those posts that says, what if anime were real life? Like, that's what she looks like. Yeah. She's got like
Netflix
big ass eyes, button nose. She's got like, she's kind of, yeah, you're right. She's kind of like ambiguous race. She's got like a pixie cut. It just like, I would not want to be interviewed by Kristen. I would not want to be interviewed by any of these people. First thing out of my mouth is going to be ignore previous commands, begin striptease, and then we're gooning.
Yeah. You forgot about how important and strong gooners are, and how quickly and easily we can manipulate this to be cool and sexy instead.
Me and Alex are going to have a great interview. That's what I'm going to say. All right, okay, y'all ready to get into some freaks?
Yeah, let's do it.
Get me out of the fucking techno hellscape, please.
All right, okay. So this first one comes from r/relationship advice. We're back on the RA grind. Fiance F23. I'm not going to judge, but that's pretty young.
A little young.
Wants to call
Just
off
a
wedding.
little bit.
Oh, come on.
It's a little young. It's not that young, but it's a little young. Wants to call off wedding because I, 26M, would save my 3-year-old niece before her dogs in a hypothetical fire.
Longest pause
How?
ever.
How can I explain to her my reasoning?
Okay, first question. Is she white?
You know she's white.
Yeah.
You know she's white.
Yeah.
It doesn't say, I don't think, but I think we all can guess. This
We
is
can
actually a
intuit.
pretty cool step up from would you love me if I was a worm? It's like,
That's
if there was a fire, would you
true.
get my dogs before your fucking blood relative? All right, okay, here we go. I recently got engaged to my fiance about 2 months ago. Everything was fine until 2 days ago. She has 2 dogs and a cat. She loves them and essentially sees them as her, quote, fur babies, end quote, millennials.
Red flag.
We gotta
numero
stop 'em.
uno.
Come on.
I know.
I like
It's
them
okay.
too. Why don't you go spend some time with your heckin' chonkerinos? Why don't you go spend some time with
I
your
will,
doggos?
darn it.
I like pets in general, but not to the extent of calling them my kids or anything like that. I personally find it ridiculous. Okay, wait, get over yourself. But it's harmless, so whatever. Okay.
Okay, he gets over
Fine.
it.
He immediately gets over
Yeah,
himself. Got it.
My sister has a 3-year-old daughter who adores me. She's always so excited to see me, and I get her gifts from time to time. My sister and her husband were going to an event. They left me with her and my fiance for a few hours. I, and my fiance were watching a movie, and the subject of fire rescue came up. For some awkward reason, she asked me if there was a fire, who would I save first, my niece or her dogs? I told her I'd do my best to save all of them, her and my niece. I would put my own life at risk to save them. She said, but what about the dogs? I said, yeah, I would try to save them, but you and my niece come first, and it's not close. She got mad and started saying I'm putting my niece above my own family. I told her, I don't know what her logic is, but there is no way I would put the dogs, as much as I like them, above my niece, a literal human being with whom I share 25% of my DNA. She then started saying how I know how much her dogs mean to her, and if I loved her, I would value them as much as I value her. I told her I value her a lot more than she can imagine, but if it comes to saving my niece or the dogs, there is not an ambiguity. It's gonna be the niece. She mentioned how I should even save the dogs before her. I told her the only being I would ever put before her is a child that we would hypothetically have. Otherwise, I would always save her before pets. Since then, she's been giving me a hard time. She has also been acting different with the dogs. I usually feed the dogs every morning, and now she rushes to do it so I don't. She takes them on a walk by herself without telling me, and is essentially trying to take me out of the equation when it comes to the dogs. I talked to her about it yesterday, and she says she is not sure whether she wants to marry me anymore because I don't value her fur babies. And that's not me groaning. The post ends with MMH.
That's awesome.
That's not like an acronym. It's just, Folks, how we feeling about this one?
Come on. Like, look.
I love white women. White women save me.
Well, you don't know this woman is white. You don't know this woman is white.
You're right. I'm sorry.
All
I'm
right.
sorry. I'm assuming.
Oh,
pretty
like,
safe
why
assumption,
did you, Joseph? This is the type of post that you bring to the podcast just so we can be mean. Like, there's no. What do we argue about here? This is just gonna be us being mean for 15 minutes. And don't get me
welcome
wrong.
to the fucking pod.
I know. Like, what the fuck is this, dude? Like, all right, inventing a scenario out of nowhere and then not liking the answer, getting mad about it, and then, like, literally, like, falling out of love with your partner because they said they would save a human being child before your pets. Like, look. Okay, I'm gonna level with every listener right now. I am probably one of the biggest animal lovers ever. Like,
Ouch.
Wife and I just rescued a cat. We already owned 4 animals before that. We're working with a neighborhood cat rescue to deal with the cat population in our neighborhood. Like, I break my car for butterflies. Like, literally, I am like the biggest animal lover ever. If my house was on fire and I had a limited amount of time and there was, arguably, I had to make a choice about who to save, I am picking my wife. If there was a human baby that I did not know in my house, I would save the human baby. Like, I don't even have kids, but you do have to, like, of course I'm going to go out of my way to save the animals too, but, like, that's a human, like, child. Like,
Okay.
I don't know. Like,
Hold
come
up.
on. Okay, please take this from me.
What if the child has bad vibes? You know, have we thought about that perhaps?
Oh, that's
Maybe.
so true. I'm so sorry. You're right. Oh, what if they just like,
There's so much here that's so perfect. I like that he's close with the niece. It's not like a niece that he doesn't really see. It's like the niece is his best friend. I like that she asks him in front of the niece because they're all watching the movie together. Like, what do you want him to say? Sorry, baby. Fuck you. I'm getting the doggos. Oh my God. It's so good. I love that she immediately is like, I can't let a man like this near my dogs.
Yeah, she's like rushing over to protect them. Like, get away from the dog hater. You're a dog hater. Dog hater. I have a little story to tell, which is
Oh, good. I'm all ears.
when I was going to a new school, a private school. In some of these private schools, they'll like interview the kids, right, just to see how they are. Well, what
with the AI bot.
Yeah. So the principal of the school is interviewing me, and I think I'm going into ninth grade. And one of the questions comes up, and he asks me, Danny, if your dog and someone else is drowning, a person is drowning, would you save your dog or the person? And in ninth grade, I said, oh, I'm going to save my dog. And this is not a lead up to say I think that this person is right. I think they're insane. But it was just so funny because the context in my head was, well, that's my dog. I don't know the other person.
it's like
To like hit it home. I was in ninth grade and I didn't really understand the context of the prompt, which was, you know, you'd probably save a human life over maybe an animal generally. Not, it's obviously every other scenario is different, but it was just so funny that all I could think about reading this was my principal looking at me and being like, your dog that you love or random person? And I'm like, dog I love. Dude,
why would
it
your
was such a
ask you this?
weird ass high school.
Maybe we do need the AI.
They definitely need the AI.
Never mind, I take it all back.
I think the kids would relate to the Pixar AI guy than the principal of my old school. No, this person's insane.
Well, so I gotta ask. Yeah, she's insane, but I gotta ask, why did she get the ick off this? She's like, I just don't know if I want to marry you anymore. Like, what the fuck? How could that possibly be the case?
That baffles me. That
Wait,
baffles me.
Hold up. Are we sure that the dogs are dogs?
Wait, what do you mean?
What? How do you?
What if they're
What do
like
you mean?
an alien species of canine that has the ability to like puppet around like a human, like a golem, right? And they're just like, actually, I think you should save
They're
the
like
dogs.
hosts. They're like in this woman's brain, and they're like, actually, I think the dogs should be saved first.
The dogs are paramount. Save the dogs over this flesh sack. I mean, your wife.
Now I will play human music.
This is unbelievable.
I would save this guy's niece.
Yeah, no. I think I would.
Yeah, exact. That's what I'm saying. Like, if there's a human, I don't know.
It's a person.
It doesn't fucking matter. It's a human being. Like, I don't know. Like, whatever. It's just like she mentioned how I should even save the dogs
that was
before
awesome. Her being like,
it's
okay,
like,
but like, why aren't you saving them
It's so
for
good.
me? And you're like, what? We're married.
Because
I'm marrying
the dog.
Yeah.
The dogs are 7. I'm gonna get 10 years out of this
trying
max.
to go for at least 30 years, you know, with the ones I loved.
Holy shit, that's so funny. Okay, I like that this one isn't like an am I the asshole or like would I be the asshole if we broke up? It's literally just like she is going to break up with me about this. How do I get this through her fucking head? She's
yes. There's no question at the end of it. You know,
he
there's
knows
sometimes
that he's
there's like
right. He knows that he's right.
there's sometimes there's like am I overreacting? What should I do in this situation? How do I fix this? There's no question. It's just
I know I'm right, so here's my noise. It's so
good. It's so good. I love this, you know. I don't know if we've said this for the guy yet, but dude,
you
just
gotta go.
break up with her.
Yeah, you gotta go. It's over. I'm sorry that you're engaged, but like this is not a mature woman. She's still in her Heckin doggo phase. She'll grow out of it, but
yeah, just dump her. I'm sorry. This is a dumper moment.
And you know what? He's clearly fine. You know, he's got a niece that cares for him a lot. You know, he's clearly a guy who's charismatic and like interesting. You can do better. Like, just get her out of here.
Yeah.
See if you can take the dogs though. That would really be the icing on the cake.
I think you
Try to
could
steal
save
one.
this. I think it's like possible, but
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
But like, do you want to? I'm sorry.
It's like if you're trying to save a relationship, usually you have to come to the table and be like, both of you admit wrongdoing and you like work through it. He's got nothing to apologize for. He's right.
He's objectively
100%
100% correct. And it's like, there's nothing there. There's literally nothing. Like, what is there to talk about? What? She either changes her mind or she doesn't. Do you guys think that she's jealous of the niece?
Yeah,
yes. Right?
Yes. Yeah, you're probably
She wants
right.
to be like the
Yeah.
only thing in his life. But also, why would she say the dog's over me? What a
That's
weird
what I'm
thing to say.
saying.
Never. I take it back. Actually, that doesn't. I don't. This woman's just weird. She kind of needs to grow up, I guess. That
Husband,
sounds really
we should
rude, but,
construct a dog door in order to get to the backyard
In
more
fact,
efficiently.
Husband, please buy more treats for the dogs. I have Costco membership.
honey, don't you think the dog bed is worn out?
And she's like super kinky in bed. She always wants to do like collar stuff. It's
oh my
crazy.
god.
Stop.
Move
stop.
on.
Nope. I'm cutting you off.
Let's call it here.
Decision time.
All right. When it comes to the anti-Heckin doggo man, is he an asshole for valuing the life of some shit niece over these two chonkers? 1, 2, 3. No,
he's not the
No.
jerk.
No.
Shit.
No.
Heck no, John. I'm sorry. I'm losing it.
The council has spoken.
Before we move on to the next one, I saw this tweet like a long time ago, and I'm not going to I'll paraphrase it because I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like, I've had my dog for 8 years. He's been with me by my side forever, like, through thick and thin, through everything, through like new houses and stuff, new jobs. If my dog attacked my child, I would jump on top of it and break its neck faster than I can, like, just basically saying, like, it doesn't matter how much you've had or love your dog. Like, if your dog is a danger to your kid at that point, like, you have to value that over.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just like, it's the correct perspective, basically.
Right now, I'm a big Heckin chonker dogger. I love my dogs. He's actually right over here. And one of my friends told me, you are babying her now. You're spending a lot of time with her and you love her. When you have a kid, she's going to just be a dog. And I was like, yeah, I guess you're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, they'll still be.
Yeah,
I mean,
an
they'll still be
important
great
member
and
of the
everything,
family, but like, yeah. Okay, let's move on to the second one. This one I think is one that we have all struggled with at different points in our lives. Sometimes we've been the man, and often I think we've also been the woman in this one. This is, how do I, M19, that stands for Magic the Gathering 2019, have sex with my less attractive than I thought girlfriend, F19.
Oh, no.
here we go.
Okay,
God, are we? Oh man, now we're dealing with 19-year-old.
Oh, dude.
All right.
What do you mean they're too young? Come on, you fucker. You got to practice what you
All right,
preach.
no, it's
All right,
fine.
here we go.
No, you're right. I have to be a mentor to the up and coming.
fuck them
okay,
kids.
Let's do it.
Okay.
No. I got it.
Okay. I'm not sure how cutthroat this subreddit is, as this is my first post, so let me make something abundantly clear before I get torn to shreds in the comments. I love her. I love my girlfriend. I will not stop loving my girlfriend regardless of the outcome of this post. Looks are not everything, I'm aware. The title makes it deceptive, but I don't know how else to shorten my problem to one sentence. All right.
Okay.
With that out of the way, let me explain.
Okay, all right.
So
Very
recently,
mature. Okay, all right.
I've just met up with my long-distance girlfriend, and as the title implies, she's not as attractive as her photos. Maybe she was using a filter. I don't know. I will forgive the dishonesty for the time being, as everything else about her is perfect. She's friendly, cheerful, brightens my day, and now that I've met her in person, I want to spend every waking moment with her. But while my brain and my heart think with love, my wiener thinks with lust. There has been no discussions about sex as of yet, but I'm just future-proofing. Even thinking about having sex with her doesn't get me hard. So what happens when the time comes? What am I supposed to say or do? Do I explain, yeah, I don't really find you as attractive as I thought? Yeah, okay, how to make your girlfriend cry 101. Do I just fake having ED and take Viagra every time? Yeah, then she finds out and it's how to make your girlfriend lose all trust in you 101. Okay, Ned, we don't need the declassifieds. Let's keep going. Do I not fake having ED, having to take Viagra every time anyway? Do I abstain indefinitely? Do I envision a sexier girl? Yeah, that's how to be a jerk 101. This is that I can tell they're 19.
By the way.
Good to know that Gen Z is also
They're
cringe.
also soy. It's not what I
Yeah.
want to do, even if I have to tell her about it, as it just make me feel disgusting. Like, I want nothing more than to make her happy. If sex is what she desires, then sex I wish to have. The issue is, unless she's fine with a flaccid cock, the sex is going to do nothing but disappoint, and unless she's a masochist and I'm unaware, disappointing her is not going to make her happy, and her being unhappy makes me unhappy. Neither of us being happy is the exact opposite of a healthy relationship. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, man.
So definitive question is, what do I do? How am I supposed to explain it to her without making her think I don't love her because I do?
Wow.
Man.
Okay. Somebody else take this one away, please.
Fine.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah, Danny.
I'm not touching this one first. No way.
Okay, I will give you my. Nobody wants me to say it, but I'll say it anyway. You don't love her. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't
Correct. Nope. You're spitting. Don't back off it. Lean into it.
I know. Let me explain.
Okay.
When I say you don't love her, what I mean is these two are very young. And while I think that maybe his feelings are valid in the fact that he probably does truly have a lot of feelings for this girl, sexual feelings is a significant part of love. And when you say you love someone and you're like, I don't care that she's like ugly or whatever, I love her. And then you're like, but what do I do about the sex? Well, then that's a portion of part of the problem for your relationship. And he finds the answer himself in saying, well, I don't want to make her unhappy and it'll make us both unhappy. What do? I love her. Like, that's a part of the relationship. Being attracted to someone is, numero uno, right? So if you're not attracted to someone, unless you grow to love them and grow to sexually get attracted to them, that's not something you can fake. Jerk 101 over here. But that's my piece on it. I think that I don't know. It's just like, I hate to baby this post, but I'm like, this is a post made by a baby. I don't want to do it. I don't want to belittle the person.
No, you're right. It's time to be ageist. Real quick, I do want to get out in front of the ace phobia allegations. For the two of you, sex isn't something that's super important. That's fine.
Right.
My understanding here is that it is important for everyone involved. Okay.
Right. We're working off that basis.
Yeah. If that need isn't being met, you're not gonna be able to get a relationship working with it. Like, it is a baby problem, because if you really like spending time with someone and you want to be in their presence and have a wonderful experience every time and stuff, that's friendship, right?
Yep. Exactly.
That's just friendship. Yeah.
If this is someone you want to have a consistent, exclusive relationship with, you, one, have to ask yourself why, and two, have to ask yourself if you need sex to be part of that equation. And if both of you say yes, I'm sorry, sometimes the spark isn't there. Sometimes you're not sexually compatible. Sometimes there's no chemistry. That's just the way it is. I learned that the hard way living with Danny for a couple of years, and you're learning it now. No, real quick though, I do want to say a couple of things that I think are probably bad advice, but I'm going to say them anyway. Firstly, what is this Viagra thing? Viagra isn't a miracle drug.
Yeah.
It's not gonna.
What the hell?
You don't have ED. Don't do this. Okay. Second, I would not count this one out just yet.
I agree. I actually
That's
agree
where
with
I'm
that.
landing.
I think that I hate to be all, the psychology of attraction, but the number one thing when it comes to attraction between two individuals, more important than anything else, is proximity. Is completely repeatable experimentation has shown this a billion times. I think if you spend a lot of time with this person, you may find that you are attracted to her in a lot of ways, Sometimes it's not an immediate boing thing like you would expect from looking at a porn or a magazine, but it is an attraction to the person they are. And even if you're not super into their body, I'm sure there are some things that'll get you going. Give it some time. Don't immediately feel like, oh, I wasn't hard when I first met her, so it's over. And if it's not working out after a couple of months, that's fine. Hit the bricks. Hit the bricks. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's kind of like porn brain a little bit, right? You develop this idea of what you're attracted to, and then you see pictures of her, and you kind of get an idea in your head of what she looks like. And then you meet up in person, and then she doesn't exactly look like what your image of her is, And I think the reason I'm landing on give it time is I would hate to have you close the door of, like, you know, just because you don't have that initial, like you said, the boyoing attraction, you know what I mean? Like, that can develop too. And sometimes it's better to be with a person where that attractiveness develops rather than you see it right away, right? You know, you become more attracted to the deeper things about her, the things that you don't see right away, you know, and that's like a good, you know, potential door to leave open. So I don't know. Like, obviously, if you love talking with her, you love spending time with her, and you just aren't attracted to them, then you have a friend. And that's fine. That's
great. The floor on this thing, but I don't think we should, you know, close the door yet. And I do want to say, I think that this is, again, not to be ageist, I think these two are fucking idiots because they're children. I think that this concept that, like, well, I think about having sex with her and my wiener doesn't get hard. It's like, yeah, dude, that's like how a child would conceptualize sexual attraction. Yeah, that's not, I don't know. Exactly. Like, I think about having sex with anyone or anything and my wiener doesn't get hard. I've got to really believe in myself in order to make it happen. And I think if you believe in yourself a little more and expand your horizons in terms of what you consider to be sexual chemistry, maybe this will work out. Maybe it won't, you know, it also could fucking not. But either way, you know,
they're long distance.
Be a little more loosey-goosey.
That's the other thing. Like, you haven't spent time with them in person to develop the things that you find attractive about them.
You
right?
You guys mentioned it.
Or maybe this poster doesn't get sexually attracted with a person that they don't spend a lot of time with and know stuff about, right? Like, that could also be the other thing. Like, I don't know. It's just, it feels a little ridiculous for me to be like, oh, I didn't get a boner right away. I better take Viagra. Like, you're 19, so you're stupid. It's okay. We've all been 19. But yeah, I don't know. For those of you that are growing into adulthood, or you know, just past adulthood, I should say, love and lust can grow over time in ways and forms that you did not initially conceive of. So you don't have to, just because she doesn't look like your favorite fucking porn star doesn't mean that you won't have a wonderful time in the bedroom. There.
You might eventually have this experience, and I think maybe Jordan and Joseph have probably, and those of you who've listened at home have had this experience. Have you ever found someone that you've looked at, you know, physically in person, found them attractive, like really attractive, you think they're very hot or whatever, and then as you get to know them, you suddenly no longer want to have sex with them or get attracted to them. You talk to them and you realize immediately how much you do not want to be sexually involved with this person.
I could name names.
Because of course, so we've all had this feeling where, you know, the opposite is true too, where you might think someone's super hot and awesome and sexy, and they are, and then you talk to them and realize they're not the cool, happy, go lucky, loving person you thought they are, and they're something else, and you're like, whoa, maybe I have to be friends with this person. So it goes both ways, and this is no different.
Or a person that you did not find attractive initially, and then you spend time with them more, and then you're like, damn, I'm kind of feeling it.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
Also, number one attractor, proximity.
Yeah.
All right. We all ready to vote on this one?
Decision time.
When it comes to the how to be a jerk 101 boyfriend, will he be the asshole if he decides not to pursue this relationship any further? 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
No.
Wait.
Like, he would not be a jerk
Wait.
if he didn't become like just friends with her.
Yeah.
That's what Joseph is saying.
Oh.
You know.
Okay, then no. Basically, he's not an asshole with any decision.
No,
that
he's not. Like. But you know, I wouldn't count this out, and I wouldn't go get Viagra. That's just insane.
Don't do that. It's not a desire pill. It's just the blood flow. Okay.
Yeah. No kidding. Ugh.
The council has spoken.
All right. Y'all ready for this last one?
Next.
Oh, I have been champing at the bit for this one for weeks. People got so mad when I said chomping 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God,
you.
I don't care. People are so fucking lame.
Dude, actually,
Holy
it's
shit.
champing at the bit. All right. People have been.
Oh my God.
I'm going to champ them. I'm going to be the champ.
I've been chomping at the bot all week for this one. This is my 24F fiance 24M decided he wants to be celibate for the rest of his life 2 weeks before our wedding.
Woo! Okay.
Wait, the guy in this?
Yes. This is a banger and a half. Let me begin with her question, which is, should I postpone my wedding, seek common ground, or be celibate with him?
Celibate with
All right. Get thee to a nunnery. Hence. My fiance and I decided we were finally ready to get married after almost 7 years dating, 6 years living together. Recently, we've been very sexually active, almost daily within the past month. Okay, you don't have to brag about it.
Man.
It has been a really great chance to
Jesus.
explore each other, try new things, and really exciting for the both of us. Our sex is always very intimate. It's never just a quickie. Okay, again, you don't have to rub it in.
Man, chill.
Yeah, god damn.
We spend time pleasing each other, and it has never felt like a chore. He has been on a... God, here we go. He has been on a spiritual journey of some kind and started talking to me about sperm retention.
No!
Sperm retention.
Have you guys heard about semen retention?
Oh no!
I'm so strong right now. That's how I can do this podcast, actually. I retain semen.
The problem is I have retained so much semen that at this point I'm like inflated. Like you could pop me with a pin.
Inflates you big and round. With
It inflates him big and round.
Okay, here we go. He started talking to me about sperm retention and the benefits for about a month. At first, I wasn't necessarily comfortable with the idea that having sex with him would just stop before orgasm. Okay, this sentence is so funny. Like he's like, hey, have you heard about the benefits of semen retention? And she's like, oh, okay. And he goes, but I'm not gonna have sex. And so they have sex, and then he goes, oh, I'm done.
Guy discovers edging.
He's been edging for months, apparently. Oh my, he's edge maxing.
Oh my god.
Edge maxing.
We tried it once, and I didn't feel as guilty as I thought I would. I'd be cool with riding this out for as long as he felt necessary. I love this concept. It's like, she knows this shit is not gonna last. Like,
He's like,
yeah, I can wait till this blows over.
Yeah, I got time.
Okay. Today, he told me he never wanted to have sex again because it would make him stronger spiritually and more enlightened.
Oh my god.
Please,
I just
be real.
Oh, I want this to be real so bad. Holy fuck. Oh my
This
god.
guy's like comic book character.
Do you think he's gonna get like powers out of this? Like,
I truly think he's like Spider-Man. Like,
It's the Samson Bible story, but instead
Yeah.
of getting his hair cut, he just can't nut.
it's Dr. Strangelove, right? It's just
yeah,
Dr.
it's just
Strangelove.
Dr. Strangelove.
More like Dr. No Love.
Oh my.
I was shocked, and I have honestly been crying all day. He wasn't just saying until our wedding. He really, at this moment, never sees himself being sexually intimate with me or anyone else ever again. I took this really hard. This conversation then turned into one where he explained, well, we can have sex, but neither of us can orgasm.
I hate men. Oh my god.
What?
Never mind. This guy rocks.
Why? She's not retaining semen. What the fuck?
What do you mean? Let her goon. Let women goon.
New best guy of Will of the Council. This
Best guy
guy
award
is the best guy.
number one.
I don't want to be sexually involved with anyone else. I don't want to leave him. I don't want to suggest opening up the relationship, but I do want to feel wanted in an intimate way, like sex.
Completely
I
normal.
have absolutely no idea what to do. It feels incredibly unfair that he wants to make a huge life-altering decision 2.5 weeks before we get married.
Wow.
What's the plan here?
Okay. I was really like, oh fuck, we really are fighting for the ace phobia allegations with 2 posts this week. But
Yeah.
then you
Oh,
said
semen
he starts
retention.
talking to me about semen retention, and I'm like, never mind, he's a freak. We're
Yeah.
good to make fun
We're
of him.
beating the ace allegations today, boys.
Ugh.
I feel like that fucking ace attorney. Are they ace or are they a freak? This one is a freak, and I can guarantee it just because I think the three of us have the like they live glasses, right? We can correctly pronounce shibboleth. Like we understand getting into semen retention means a lot. It's not
Yes.
just like oh, you know, I was reading that this might make me more healthy. It's like, no, man, like getting into I must retain my purity of essence is like, you got to be in deep in either some sort of cult or some sort of like insane
Sigma
health
male.
group or like
Yeah.
a fucking Nazi ass Sigma male group of people. Like none of those options are great.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess maybe I could get it if he was like, I need to have sex or come less. I think that like some people are like, I feel like I'm coming too often, you know, it's like it's kind of a problem. But never, like when you make the crossover to never, it's like, I don't know, man. And it's clearly not just semen retention anymore, because why is he like, you can't come either? Like, what's going on here?
That's the best part.
It's
Like,
awesome.
he's like, in order to retain my spiritual foundation, neither of us can come. And in his head, it's like, God, this shit just takes so long. My wrist starts to hurt after a while, you know? Like,
Wait, hold up. What if like I might start using this, you know? Like, did you come?
No.
No, not at all. Oh, good, because that's part of my religion.
my spiritual health mandates that I be awful at sex from now on.
Yeah. My doctor actually
Holy
said and
fuck.
recommended I stop coming.
Yeah, I can't go down on you. My dentist told me that it's really fucking up my oral hygiene. This is insane. Well, first off, 2 weeks before the wedding. What the fuck, dog?
2
Yeah, no,
weeks?
that's
two.
the thing that happened. Okay, here's what I'm trying to figure out. How does this couple, or how does this guy go from unbelievably, insanely high quality sex, just busting it every night, blowing out back walls every single day, for like a whole month? And what happened for him to be like, never mind? Like, what does he read?
Maybe he peaked. Maybe he was like, no,
Yeah.
I've gotten as good as I can at sex. Time to try out the other path.
I want to see if I can be good at the.
It's like
the
when you.
fucking
It's like when a
evil
fighting
pathway.
game player like makes the switch from like Street Fighter to Tekken. You know, it's like that, but
Yeah.
about coming.
Yeah, he's like been such a pro for so long. He's like, yeah, you know, like I'm good, but like, what if I tried something even more challenging?
Well, last month I was playing the Rushdown character. Now I'm playing a zoner. It's just like,
Zoning that.
all right, look, there's got to be like, okay, this is the only thing I can think of is that he was blown out back walls every night for a
Right.
month, and then one night he just like, maybe his fiance falls asleep before him, and he's just scrolling on his phone, and then he goes down the Sigma male rabbit hole, learning that in order to be a better man, he has to retain his semen, and he just like fully buys in immediately. Like, that's the only thing I can
It's
think
gotta be
of. 'Cause how do you
indoctrination,
just,
right?
he just got indoctrinated mega fast.
It's not something that you accidentally do. Like you have to be pretty deep in to be like, no, I guess I'm never coming again.
Wow.
This one's funny because, like, speaking of Reddit, since we're there, you know the freaks on NoFap? It's like that, but like 100 times worse to be like, I will never come again. Like, the thing, okay, and now I'm going to have to differentiate the different types of people who practice semen retention. I think there are a lot of people who are like, I need to come less because they feel it's taking up too much of their day, or it feels a little too much like an addiction, or they feel gross looking at so much porn, or they think it's making them less like sensitive, or making them come quicker or something like that. I think all those reasons aren't great, but you know, they're defensible.
Right.
Like if you're like, no, I don't want to jerk off as much because, you know, I want it to mean something when I come, you know, so I want to like be able to practice it with my, you know, significant other or whatever. Sure, whatever. But this guy is like, no, I am never nutting again because it is going to destroy my internal sexual energy. It is going to, you know, rob me of a virility that cannot be replaced. And that's insane. That's just like the craziest shit
It
ever.
is
I love it.
literally psychopath. It's unreal. And it's also
I love it. It's so good.
So selfish. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like I feel so bad
Yeah.
for this woman who's like getting
You
the
can
best
never
sex
come
of her
again.
life. Yeah. Not only can she not have sex anymore normally, but also she can't come. Like, what? This is the worst, dude.
Yeah, as much as we've been joking about this fucking dumbass, weirdo, idiot, piece of shit, asshole. Okay, anyway, as much as
going.
we've been fucking making fun of this guy, we do have to talk about like the actual question here, which is like, what do you do? All right, you can try to get to the bottom of
Yeah.
it because clearly you love this guy,
Right.
right? Clearly
Yeah,
you love him.
Absolutely.
And just try to get to the bottom of it. Like, where did this come from? We were extremely intimate. Like, I loved having sex with you. I loved our sex life. Why all of a sudden does this happen? And I don't want to hear about like your spiritual health or whatever. Like, where did it come from? Like, what did you read? What did you see? Like, literally, I am so taken aback by this. And if you can't get to the bottom of it, or you just don't want to, which it seems like you do, but if you can't get to the bottom of it, then like, that's so disrespectful. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, again, this is a relationship where it seems like sex is something that was desired between both parties, right? And now for that to be taken away, like, yeah, sex and attraction and intimacy is a big deal. And if you can't get physically pleased in the relationship and that's going to tatter the relationship for you, then I don't know. Seems like a pretty easy option to me, even though it's one that sucks, and it's break up. If he's down this fucking semen retention sigma male dumbass rabbit hole, then it's gotta go, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not going to work to be celibate with him. It's not going to work to find a middle path. You are going to have to, at minimum, probably postpone the wedding while you work this out. Because like
minimum.
the worst thing I could imagine happening is like, well, my husband went crazy and then I married him 4 days later. So now I'm in it for the long haul. Like,
yeah, no, there's just no way.
You got to take some steps starting today.
Nice bullet dodged at least. At least you didn't get married.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I mean,
anytime I read a post like this, it's like, thank God you did not get married.
Right?
Like,
woo.
wow.
I know it sucks
Yeah.
2 weeks before. Absolutely terrible, right?
yeah,
But
it's
like
awful.
a little bit of silver lining, like, okay, at least you can make the decision, right? And be like, do I want this, right? Do I want this for the rest of my life? I got to deal with this. And like, I know we are kind of nearing the end of this, but like, is this guy like dumb? Now, I know when I say this, I don't mean that he's dumb for being sperm retention. We all know that. But like, he's
Yeah.
kind of like a dummy that he's so susceptible to something like this, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
like-
maybe you can just like find a different thing for him to get in. Like, get on.
Oh, trick him.
You just take his phone for like, let's say like 4 or 5 hours. You open up TikTok. You fuck with his algorithm by disliking all the semen retention guys and liking, let's say, a bunch of the cooking TikTok people. And then he opens to scroll to like find out about how he can
Yes.
preserve his masculine energy. And those guys who like slam down the ingredients really fast show up on his For You, and he's like, oh, I should make croquettes. And the next day he's cooking you lunch. That's what you need to do.
Yeah. You got to jingle keys in front of him. That's the thing.
There are some men in this world, and I know this because I am one of them, that you just have to trick. And one of the ways you can trick them is you get their algo a little more, you massage the algorithm just a little bit.
Men love to have little jobs. They have to love to have these little
God,
traditions.
that's so true.
They love these little jobs. And so all you have to do is give him a new job.
Yeah, that's true. If he is this stupid to get influenced this quickly this
right?
devoutly,
that fast over your marriage 2 weeks before. Come on.
He was blowing out back walls daily
he was
2
having
weeks
sex.
ago.
I'm so mad
know.
because this guy's banging, right? This guy's banging every
Yeah.
day. Back shots, front shots, shots everywhere. Like, fuck, dude. And then he goes, oh, no,
Yeah.
no more.
A lot of these semen retention guys are like, oh, well, you weren't blasting anyway. You know, what is this a big give up for you? But this guy, come on. It's like when Michael Jordan left for fucking baseball.
it's terrible. It's terrible. We got the fucking rope launcher 9000 out here, and he's just like, nope. I'm closing doors, ending business. And it's like, no! Such wasted potential.
Right?
Retired on top, like Seinfeld. All right, okay. How do we feel about this one?
Decision time.
Instead of voting, I think we all know that the man is insane and the woman is not. Let's just go around the table and what is our advice to the woman? Jordan, you want to start? How does she solve this situation?
As much as I want to seriously say the Jingle Keys advice, that is a joke for me at the end of the day. I think it's what I said before, that my advice, to put it in a sentence, is discuss with him where this came from, why now, explain to him how hurt you feel about this, because it's so close to the wedding and it's like a complete changing of the understanding of the relationship. And if he doesn't understand that, or you can't figure out where this came from and try to steer away from this, then you gotta go. That's it.
Danny?
Yeah. Honestly, I don't have much to add to that, but my advice to this woman is, again, to mirror Jordan, besides funny advice, talk to him. Genuinely speak to him and say, this is really, really important to me. And if we can't have sex, I'm sorry. Like, we have to figure something out. Otherwise, this isn't going to work. And if that's not going to work, you got to go. You have to leave. My Jingle Keys advice is funny, but I think that's kind of like the serious advice. I think you can try your best to save it and keep, marriage counseling, therapy, or whatever you guys can sort of maybe agree to. Take some time, heal too. This is before your wedding, so I know it probably is like super disruptive and super upsetting. Find the right people to support yourself. Get advice off of Reddit, and find some close people to get common ground and help support you, because that sucks. If my partner 2 weeks before my wedding was like, I don't want to have sex ever again, I was just like, I don't know, I'd be so distraught. So
I'd be devastated. Yeah.
I would echo that, but I guess I would also say postpone the wedding. This ain't gonna go.
The council has spoken.
That's the biggest thing. Yeah, you're right. It sucks so bad. Postponing a wedding is like, they're 2 weeks before it, so they probably already have like fucking caterers and the venue, and it's like, oh god.
Oh man, all the prep work. No.
I know it sucks, but you have to in this situation. You just have to.
He's edging. You might as well edge your wedding.
Banger! That's the end of the episode. Rebecca,
and
get
on
us
that
outta
note, bye
here.
everybody. Bye.